We are Brap. We are live. We have a great show in store for you guys. We have One Bad Mother and Big Cloud Gaming joining us. We're going to be talking about Halo Infinite. We have some new news as it relates to the development troubles for Halo Infinite 343i. And we're going to be talking a little Game Pass PlayStation Now and a little Battletoads. Battletoads reviews are dropping, so we're going to discuss that and much more. So let's get the show started right now. Oh my God. You know, I love that intro. Love it. Big shout out to my man, Jay Graphic God, for putting that together. Always gets me hyped, if you will, for Brap. But I want to welcome everyone back to the live chat, guys. Thank you. I should say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us this evening. Definitely appreciate the support. Remember, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let your friends, family, uncles, grandparents, let them know that we're live. Tell them to come out and hang out with us. We'll be doing a giveaway in the live chat again. Probably going to do something trivia related, I think, because well, we did that last week. We did do trivia last week. And by the way, if you didn't check out last week's show, we had Jeff Grubb on. Great show, great guest. So big shout out to Jeff Grubb. He was kind enough to join us and shoot the shit with us and talk some video games. And actually, some of the things he said actually made it to mainstream gaming media, where Brap was referenced. I think Rich from Review Tech USA actually mentioned us one of his videos as well on things that Jeff Grubb said on last Wednesday's show. So definitely check that out if you missed that. And did a Brap rant on Saturday with my man Lord Cognito and Hogue Law. We discussed the whole Epic's games and Apple Google lawsuit going on right now. And congratulations to Apple, by the way. They're the first American company to reach a valuation of $2 trillion. They did that in 2 years, which is insane. So yeah, they got lots of money. But on that note, want to introduce everyone on the panel. As I mentioned earlier, we got Big Cloud Gaming. Big Cloud, what's up, man? Welcome back to Brap.
Woo! What's up? You know I had to do it. Thanks for having me, man. Let's definitely knock these topics out.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And we have a returning guest, somebody that I've known from my days on Xbox Live, on the OG Xbox Live platform, on the OG Xbox console, One Bad Mother. What's up, OBM?
What is up, Enrique? Thanks for having me again. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And we have B Money 101. B, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, man? It's another great Wednesday night. Play of basketball is on and popping, man. So I'm excited to be here, and let's get to it.
All right, man. And we have the man of many backslaps, Slow-Mo Damas. What's up, Slow-Mo?
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's up, panel? What's up, chat? I just want to say something real quick. You know, a 69 can be a 96 if you stand on your head.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
I thought you were gonna flip that into something dirty, but I ain't gonna.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought you was really gonna flip that.
You guys, your minds are in the gutter. Shame.
I mean,
a lot of people 69 is their favorite number. I'm just saying, dog.
I mean, it's
surely Microsoft's favorite number. But
wow. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, dang. That's what Demo came with the clip loaded today, man.
That's all the slander I have. That's all it. I'm done. At least
Slow-Mo came out with the backslaps off the break. Just
He had them loaded up, man.
Yeah.
Things off the waist belt.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, look, it's 69 is an average score, I guess, right? I mean,
no, it's not. It's below average. But
okay. Well, look, if it's fun, it's all that matters.
That's right, man. As long as I can play with my friends, right?
Exactly.
I'm
playing with my friends.
If it's co-op,
you can't play with your friends unless they come to your house.
Yeah.
So maybe not.
Oh no, wait. Are you saying with Battletoads you can't play online co-op?
No, sir.
That was intentionally done. So that
What year is this? God, why? What is? Oh my God, Microsoft.
it's 1991.
Microsoft.
You didn't know?
Oh man, it's SNES all over again, man.
Oh man.
What is I don't you guys have to want to get out of this console generation so bad, Microsoft.
Couch co-op, baby.
You know, it's like, hey, guys, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and you want to do some couch co-op? Yeah, okay. I mean, and it's 2020, and what is? Oh my goodness.
Well, hey, you guys want your single player games, right? Single player ish. I mean, it ain't the greatest game in the world. You know, you brought back a well beloved franchise to give it a subpar
Just a drag
offering.
shit.
But yeah, you know, but hey, people ask for Battletoads and you got what you asked for, kind of, sort of. So
There's only one dude I know who's probably hyped for that. That's Xbox 448. Shout out to him.
oh yeah, he's probably
Xbox
right
definitely.
now.
That's
That's
Xbox
his
definitely.
game. He's been hyping that up for the longest.
Yeah.
So.
He really has. He's excited, but I mean, I just look, and I know people go, oh, well, what about the flight simulator, Enrique?
Yeah.
Metacritic. It's it's game of the generation. Okay. Look, great. That's great. Flight Simulator looks awesome. I said earlier in the week, game looks amazing. I said this should be a tech showpiece for the Xbox Series X because right now that console does not have anything shows why you need to invest potentially $600 if the leaks are true. And although I'm hearing conflicting messages where people have said it's a placeholder, I've heard people in retail tell me, yeah, it's a little bit too late for that. It more than likely is not a placeholder. And these are people, retail managers that I've talked to about this, because retailers have to allocate X amount of dollars towards buying products. Anyhow, look, 69 Metacritic. It's just, Microsoft, you got to do better. You guys are, yeah.
It takes the wind out the sails, you don't care for a 69, like all the hype for the T-flops and the marketing. I was expecting higher, especially for all their titles. And when you count the fact that Halo Infinite's not going to be there at launch too. Yeah.
I mean, look, and I get they got these new studios. I'm sure these new studios are going to put out some great stuff, but they're gonna have a mindshare problem. And like I said at OBM, and One Bad Mother and I have been on the Xbox platform for 19 years together.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm kind of like, it's an afterthought for me now. My focus is stuff on Steam, PC, or stuff on PC, Steam, the Epic Store. I have Game Pass for the $1 deal right now, but I'm not even sure that I'm going to re-up on that when that runs up because, frankly, I don't use it a lot. There's just no reason. I mean, most of the games that are dropped in there, I've already played. Or I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm ranting right now.
Dudes are hyping for a lot of people are really putting a lot of bank and stock into Cyberpunk going into damn Game Pass.
But they already said that they
said it's not going to do it. Yeah, now they switched it around to FIFA and Madden. Oh boy. we're literally just moving any game at this point, that has a little bit of heat. Like, oh, this game's gonna be in Game Pass day and date. And I'm sitting
it would be smart for them, with the absence of Halo Infinite, to try to secure some kind of big AAA game that's coming out this holiday into Game Pass day and date. But they're gonna have to really bring like the Brinks truck full of money to a developer or publisher to make that happen. And I don't know whether they actually are or not, but like all this speculation of, oh, it's going to be this or that. Like, come on, we don't know that. We don't know what's going on with there.
Look, yeah, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, Slow-Mo, but I before I forget, I want to pose this question to you, Slow-Mo, because you and I live in the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're describing is, these new games. Everyone's speculating, oh, this game might go into Game Pass now. You know what that reminds me of, Slow-Mo? It reminds me of every year the Washington Redskins, right? They don't make.
You can't say that. The Washington football team.
I'm sorry, the Washington football team. Yeah, they don't make the playoffs, right? Playoffs. They don't make the playoffs. And every year, what are we doing? We're like, oh man, like Slimmo, what if we draft this guy? Right?
Yeah, what if they sign this dude? You know, they always win the off season, but never on the field. You know, it's pretty funny.
Enrique, I don't want to hear about your Washington. Washington when we got the Lions over here, man.
So you can sympathize with us then, yes, because Lions, the same thing. It's like, hey, what if we draft Trevor Lawrence? You know, what if he's our QB of the future? What if we get him?
There's no same thing. There's no same thing. We got the 0-16, and we have, what has it been now? 50 years? Some shit like that. At least you guys whooped their asses with Barry Sanders. What is that? 3 decades ago. That was something. I would take that right now. I'd trade you.
I'll just say this. I'll say this real quick. And I don't want people to be like, oh, he's dunking on Xbox. He's a flip-flopper. He's a hater. No, look, here's the thing. I like good games. And like you can sit there and say reviews are subjective. They don't matter. They do matter. Because optics matter. Perception matters. So when you have when your games that you're putting into a service or scoring 67, 69s, and you're really putting a lot of marketing dollars behind this, because look, if you're on Twitter, people are getting those Battletoads, marketing editions of boxes. Have you guys seen those gift boxes, whatever it is? You're putting a lot of, you got the Battletoads flag on that, on what's it called, on Sea of Thieves. I mean, your marketing team's putting a lot of oomph behind this, right? You guys are standing these games up.
But are they really? Because like they didn't even Battletoads was coming out this month. Within a month, they didn't even show it at the Xbox Game Showcase.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a good point.
That kind of pretty much told you how they really felt about the game. Like they knew ahead of time. This game's butt. This game is as dingleberries. It's dingleberries right now. It's booty dingleberries is what this game is. They knew it ahead of time, and they said, you know what? Let's not even show that here. Show the gunk. I'd rather you show the gunk than show Battletoads. That's how they felt about the game. When I already knew the game wasn't going to review well, but when they didn't even show it at their game showcase, this would have been a second party game for them because it was outsourced to Delilah Studios and oversaw by Rare. I knew then, like, okay, you're not even going to show the game, and it comes out in a few weeks. This game's not good. They know it's not good.
Yeah.
So Enrique, when do we tell them that I'm the Battletoads expert on the panel today?
I mean, okay, yeah. So in fairness, that's a great point, OBM, because actually, we do have a panel member here today, One Bad Mother, who actually did do a review for Battletoads.
You did a review?
Oh,
I did my first ever.
God
review,
have mercy
actually,
on your soul, my friend.
It wasn't that. Bad, actually.
The next one they do better look like Killer Instinct. Let's just keep it real. Like the next Battletoads.
How is your sanity right now? Do you need some therapy? You feel a little lost, a little just not really being up to your normal self after having to play that game and review it. Like you tell us how you feel after about this game and all that.
No, I usually feel that way after watching Kaylee press conferences. But when it came to Battletoads, actually, I feel like a lot of these games right now, I think you have to look at them a little bit differently. I'll say that I gave it a 7.5, and the reason I gave it a 7.5, I think the criticisms that I've been reading are very fair. It's one of those games that doesn't really tailor itself to a lot of the adults that used to like the game. It really doesn't pay any fan service or nostalgia. The humor is basically targeted at 12-year-olds. And I think this is one of those games that it's targeted at a younger audience, and that's one of the reasons that Microsoft didn't tout it at that conference, because it's really not meant to be something that's going to bring you to Game Pass. It's something that's hey, you're there, and here's something your kids can play, and I think that's really what that is. It's really to kind of fit the needs of teenager and anybody else that just wants to just something kind of silly and goofy. I'll say from a gameplay standpoint, it actually plays pretty well. Like from the beat 'em up standpoint, everything worked pretty well in there, but it doesn't have online co-op, and that's what I marked it down most for from a gameplay standpoint. And I think it does a pretty poor job of, kind of honoring the IP. Like one of the things I said is, if you're going to use a classic and beloved IP, you should pay fan service. You should give fans what they want. Otherwise, why are you even using that game? It probably should have used. I think if this was a game that, if this was a new IP, it might have even been better received, and it definitely would have got higher scores with online co-op. So, but I'll say it wasn't a bad game. I actually had fun. I actually had a lot of fun at parts. It had a part where it slogged a bit, and I think if people pick it up, they'll know what I'm talking about. But it's something that's targeted towards people who like that retro type game, or younger audience. And even the difficulty, I was surprised, because the old Battletoads were really, really difficult. This one was pretty. I flew through it pretty easily. I didn't on the default difficulty, so I feel like it was not really targeting me as much as it was maybe targeting my kids.
Yeah. So let me. So what website did you do the review for OBM so people can check it out?
Xbox Era. It's a newer website.
You lost me at Xbox in the title. No, I'm playing.
I'm still on Xbox, guys.
Nice.
This reminds me like back in elementary school, where my friends were started making friends with the cool kids, and then we couldn't hang out anymore because I was still wearing the parachute pants. So hopefully,
parachute pants.
So hopefully, Enrique, we can still hang out, even though I'll still be on Xbox and every other system.
You just need to come over to PCMR OBM. That's all, man.
Hey,
I got
he ain't
it.
lying. I've been on Road Company on PCMR. It's been a little hard to go and finish Ghosts of Tsushima. Let me tell you.
Wow.
I told you I picked up the PC. I just go back to console just because I don't know. It's just comfortable. It's home. It's just easy.
Yeah, no.
I don't have to worry about like my drivers, and I know it's not as bad as it used to be back when I was.
Not.
I was PCMR back in the the late 90s, early 2000s, right before OG Xbox actually, and it's definitely a lot better than it used to be. But I find that if I want to play with the controller, I usually do that on the console, and then if there's games that I have to do a lot of reading or work better with keyboard and mouse, I go to PC. So.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, no, I certainly appreciate OBM, you sharing the review with us, man. I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm not going to check the game out, but I'm definitely going to check out your review. I might let the kids play around with maybe Battletoads. Maybe that might be something they kind of dig. So we'll see. But I do want to get to our first topic this evening. So, there's been a lot of talk about Game Pass, and we talked about PlayStation Now a little bit last week on BRAP. We missed you, by the way, the last week, Slim. I know you were on vacay, so we did miss you, sir. So I was thinking, like, the value proposition of both services is interesting, and I kind of feel like with PlayStation Now, it's not really talked about a lot. And it's actually, if you look at it, you're getting PS Now for about what is it, Big Cloud, $60 for the year? Is that
the one that was discontinued? Yeah, the $60 a year was discontinued. And
it was discontinued. Okay.
Yeah, and the one that they have is the monthly and the weekly.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
and for that it's like 25 for the 3 months. So yeah, you're technically paying over about $100 a year.
About $100. Okay. Yeah. And with that service, you're still getting about what, 800 games?
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Yeah. So 800 games, you can actually stream PS4, PS3, PS2 games instantly on your PlayStation 4 and PC. You can download hundreds of PlayStation 4 games to your PS4 console as well. So I feel like, like PS Now is not something that people really talk about, and especially I think if you're a multi-console owner, you like the subscription services, that Netflix type service. I really do think there's some potential value here with PlayStation Now. And then obviously we know with Game Pass, really the bread and butter with Game Pass is it's Microsoft's first party stuff day and date. They got a good variety of games that have recently dropped in. Yakuza being actually one of the more recent titles. They're gonna have Dragon Quest, which is going to be awesome. I think it's an awesome get for Game Pass. Game Pass has I don't keep up with the numbers of games. It's probably over 200 now, if I'm not mistaken. If somebody in the live chat wants to throw that number out, I appreciate it.
Oh, you talking about? Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, were you talking? I thought you were talking about the Xbox. We said PSN was $60. The $60 thing is still for PSN for Xbox Live. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Xbox Live. That's what they were discontinued. My bad.
No worries. Yeah, so that's $60. I mean, that's a tremendous value for PlayStation Now, considering all the games. Now, I'm going to throw this. It's a little bit low hanging fruit for you, Big Cloud.
What's up?
So, in your opinion, as a gamer, because you game on, I think, all platforms, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the better value proposition is for gamers potentially? Do you think it's PlayStation Now or Xbox Game Pass?
I mean, honestly, it depends on how you look at it. If you haven't played any third-party games, and I mean literally no third-party game, you just ignored all of them, maybe go with Game Pass because you're more likely to get all of them in there, except for the new higher budget ones that are just releasing. So maybe. Honestly, though, I'm more with PlayStation Plus. I've been on that for the longest because of the free games they give you. They give you a lot of first-party games as well as third-party, and they're usually worthwhile. Xbox Live Go's been kind of slacking, and again, them cutting it down from 60 to about 30. Yeah, it's not really comforting.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. So it sounds like you would be lean towards PlayStation Now, then, at least for your gaming needs.
Yeah, just for the free games. Now, as far as Game Pass, all the games on Game Pass I've played a shit ton of times. It's like they're not offering anything new aside from their first party, and that's really where the kicker is. Everybody keeps talking about is their first party. So,
gotcha. All right, man. Yeah, I would say I would agree with you. The first party stuff is definitely kind of the bread and butter and appeal of Game Pass. By the way, look, I don't think there's any right or wrong here. I think this at the end of the day really depends on what your preference is and what you're looking for in a service like this. I just thought it's interesting. I just wanted to have this conversation, just kind of get an idea of what people think, in terms of value proposition for both of these services, because this is like what next generation is going to be like, these Netflix type services. So OBM, man, what are your thoughts, man? I don't know if you use PlayStation Now, if you used it. I know you're on Game Pass. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, so like this would feel like more of a crossfire thing. And I'm just kidding. It's not a big deal. The way I look at these things is like there's different segmentations, like of the market, and I do think that what PlayStation offers does have an appeal to like a certain segmentation, especially if you're trying to get something that's a cheap way to get your kids a lot of games, or like I guess like Big Cloud made an example of you just haven't really caught up. Maybe you're just somebody who's played on NBA 2K and Call of Duty and some of the Sony.
Sorry, yeah, I'm literally in and out of the conversation. Everybody said I said PS Now or PS Plus to the PS Now. Yeah, I know what I meant. I meant PS Now. God damn it. God damn, everybody in the chat, right? Smoked up for the chat. No, I'm fucking multitasking.
But no, for me, the value of Game Pass, everybody always mentions the first party, which I think's part of it. But the way I always used to buy games was, like I buy the bangers day one, like the things that I knew were absolute, must plays day one. But if you're somebody that likes a lot of games, like you're somebody who explores them, plays indies and things like that, there's just no, there's no way you can have a budget for at least not for me. I'm a single dad, and so I got to pay for braces and shit like that. So like a lot of times, I look at all these games and I'm like, oh, they all look good, but I'm just gonna wait for them to go on sale. That's how I'm gonna make my money go further. And what I'm finding with Game Pass is a lot of that shit goes in there now. And not only that is a lot of the indies. So I think that a lot of people kind of underestimate like that segment of the gamers, like the enthusiasts that like the indies, because there's a lot of day one indies. Like every month, I think there's been a handful that I've tried out, and it seems like every month I find something in there that I like. So, but I also get that that's not for everybody. Like if you're basically like Ghosts of Tsushima and NBA 2K that's those are really the only kind of games you look for. Then that's not going to have a lot of value. So yeah, it speaks to me, but that's only because of the segment. The kind of gamer that I am. That does like a little bit of everything, and I am kind of like like a dog chasing squirrels. It's like I have a tendency to rotate through 5 to 10 games at one time. I'm not that type of person that sits down and just plays one game for like a week.
Yeah, you have that gaming that gamer ADD, OBM.
I do, man.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
If you went through my achievements in the last 2 weeks, you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like it's stupid. It's like I got 10 points here and 50 points here, and it's just all over the place. But I think that's just, I like to look at what these creative people they kind of throw their lives behind this stuff, and I like to just see what the variety out there. And I think I'm not somebody that's a completionist or needs to beat everything I play. I just like to sometimes just sample things and just kind of see what people kind of can create, So, but again, that's just me, and I know I'm a little bit of a weird gamer. So,
no, I hear you, man. I mean, there's definitely people out there that like to, have that variety or don't really feel like they need to complete a game. I'm kind of like, give me the bangers, and I want to complete the bangers, and then I might dive into like more smaller titles in between, right? But I do want to go to B Money, man. B, I know you like the bangers, but you also like the indies too, B. You like some of the smaller titles, man. So what are your thoughts, man, about both services? Because I believe you actually do subscribe to both, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct. I do have both services, and I'm actually subscribed to both of them for the next couple of years. So for me, like, I used to buy like literally everything. You know what I mean? Like whatever came out, I bought it. You know what I mean? Whether it's a big AAA title or indie title or whatever, I used to just buy everything. But like now, like my life is so crazy. Like my kids are growing up and stuff. Like I just don't have time to like play as many games as I used to. So like the services are great for me. You know what I mean? I just jump in and just check out, whatever they put in there every month or whatever, I can take a look at whatever, Xbox Game Pass has and, see if there's something that catches my eye or, the same thing with PlayStation Now. And, even with, picking up the bangers like Ghosts of Tsushima and, Last of Us and, Final Fantasy this year, like I really haven't even touched those services. So like, it just depends on the time of year, like what games are coming out, if those services actually have, a lot of value to me. I thought like this year, they would come in perfect with the summer. I felt like the summer probably would have been like a good time to like dive in and just check some stuff out. But even this year, like even being like quarantined, it was just like I just didn't have time to really get in there. So I think they both, hold value. They do offer a lot of content for, what you're paying. But it just depends on the gamers, if you're actually going to take the time to check out the games that are in the services.
Yeah, that's actually a great point, B. I mean, like for me, because of this year with like Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, I mean, we like Sony kind of spoiled us, man, like this summer, right? I mean, we had like really two. I mean, you think about these games are really could be considered 2 Game of the Year contenders,
right?
And they were released like what, like within a month of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think like during dry spells and like I would say this, when I use those services, it's definitely during dry spells, like where maybe there's not a big AAA game, or there might be a AAA game that I'm not interested in, right?
You know, here's a question for the panel. How long did y'all think Battletoads was going to be in terms of like play, in terms of story and whatnot? How long do you think it was going to be?
I probably thought a couple hours, maybe 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
Definitely less than 10 hours.
Well, we got confirmation that it's 3.5 hours or less.
Woo!
So my question for you guys is my question for you guys is that DLC? Can that be considered DLC?
Oh, I know what you do, Big Cloud.
Oh man,
get messy there, Big Cloud.
It's standalone DLC.
We're gonna do the DLC thing. Can that be considered DLC for 3.5 hours?
No, that's not.
Streets of Rage was like an hour.
Because dude, just say they're going Spider-Man Miles Morales of DLC. And I'm like, that's at least 30-40 hour game, but okay.
Oh my goodness.
So one bad mother, you said it took you 6 hours to complete it?
He was playing that shit.
Yeah, no,
slow.
actually, I was.
Well, I mean, I see you,
every
dog.
nook and cranny, destroying.
I see you, dog. You was looking everywhere, huh? You was looking for all the secrets. You weren't even playing it. You was in autopilot playing that shit.
You know, I think you'd have to play it on easy to go 3.5 hours because I don't feel like I got stuck too long at any one spot. I mean, there's a few places I had to, replay a few times, but overall, I don't know. That seems a little off to me. I'll have to double check.
What are the difficulty levels, and which level did you play it at?
I played at default. So there's an easy level and there's a hard one. So I wonder if somebody might have played it at easy and just kind of rushed through everything. I can't say for sure, but yeah, I played on default. I didn't think it was super hard at default, but there's a lot. There's 25, something like review. There's a lot of, there's 4 acts and there's about 25 sections altogether. So, for a game like that, like that's retro, that actually had more, I'd say more content than most retro games that I play. Like Street Rage 4, which I really liked. Actually, I like that one better. That one you can beat in an hour. I put 35 hours into that because I beat it with every character in a lot of different modes. But and that's usually how those games work, though. They're usually supposed to be shorter and just replayable.
Yeah, hey, real quick, guys, I got to get the super chat from Marty Bison. What's up, Marty? I was talking to Marty in DM today with the $5 super chat. Says, can't wait to listen to the podcast tonight at work. Seems like some good topics. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate the super chat, sir. So it sounds like it's so someone else in live chat said 5 to 10 hours. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
6 hours I think is probably where most gamers. I don't feel like I'm that terrible. So I feel like that's where most gamers will be at the fall.
I don't know. Forte is here just in time to hear him damage control this. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know Forte going damage control it.
Oh, well, before we get
to
Forte,
Forte's my neighbor.
Yeah.
Damn.
Before we get to Forte, go ahead, OBM.
Did Forte tell you that we're almost?
Anyone else hear body out?
No, I can't hear anything he's saying.
Say it again.
OBM, you're botting out, man.
Am I? Oh shit! All right, give me a minute here.
No, you're good.
He's good. He's good now.
All right. I was saying, did Forte mention to you that we're almost neighbors?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, we're probably like 10, 15 minutes apart from each other.
Are you serious?
So,
yeah.
Isn't that's a freaking small world, man? It's like I turn on your podcast one day and it's like, wait, are you OBM that's been on my friends list for almost 20 years? And then I find out Forte is my neighbor. Next thing I'm going to find out like Slow-Mo's my brother.
Oh no. Yo, Forte, did you hear?
Hear what?
Battletoads can be beaten in 3.5 hours, dog.
Oh, what did you expect?
I don't think
did you actually expect more from that game? I mean, they stealth released it.
That is true, though.
Yeah, that's a great point.
No, but it's funny. I mean, remember because we had to talk about a certain DLC argument, So can that be considered DLC?
You can't call something DLC that didn't have a game. It wasn't even a game. you'd be a messy right now, bro.
I know he is messy. Big Cloud, you are being. Hey, let's get back on topic here real quick because Big Cloud, you are being a little messy.
I did want to say real quick in regards to that I mean, I'm not a Battletoads fan, so whatever. But like, wasn't the original games like famous for being extremely hard, extremely difficult?
Yeah.
And for this one to be that short, and I mean, like, one bad, is it difficult at all to play?
A normal difficulty, I would say, there might be a few places that you have to replay a few times, but I would say it's not super difficult on normal.
See, that just seems like such a missed opportunity. Like you don't really seem to, or at least the studio that created the game doesn't really seem to understand what Battletoads was about, why people wanted the game to come back, the nostalgia factor. It just seems like them be missing all of that. That's
you already heard them say that they didn't even they didn't even have fanfare around the game. Like, they didn't put anything that has callbacks that people that played the original games really would have cared about and stuff like that. So it's like they built this game in a vacuum and said, like, we're just going to throw Battletoads on the front of it and just have the characters. And that's what I took from what Bad Mother said when he was talking about him beating it and playing it and why he gave it such a lower score, because they weren't trying to make this game for the people that wanted the game to come back. They just used it as a vehicle to bring another game out, and since this was a game that people were clamoring for, they just said, well, we'll just give you the game with the name on the front of it, but not the essence of what the game was before.
Like,
extra game, that's it.
But like, the people who wanted to play the game aren't getting what they wanted from it. So like, who's your target demographic here? I know one bad talked about potentially like 12-year-olds, but they don't even know who Battletoads are.
No, that's not true though, Slomo, because no lie, when we were doing those, when we were looking at that artwork and stuff on the Xbox website yesterday, Battletoads was at the very top of it. And my kids don't sleep. They up at 3:00 in the morning with me all the time. And she was looking at this like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh, that's Battletoads. It comes out in a couple of days. She said, oh, I want to play that. I was like, you know nothing about Battletoads. And she was like, it looks cool. Because it's colors, it's colorful.
Oh, it's the color art, the art style.
Yeah, that's all it is. Trust me, they know. Trust me, they kind of know what they're doing. I mean, look, that's how
platformers were back.
Slomo, Forte, what kid doesn't like a cartoon, right? A good cartoon.
Well, my daughter loves Fortnite, and I asked her. I said, "You want to play Apex Legends?" She was like, "What's that?" I was like, "It's the same thing as Fortnite, but little different." She's like, and I showed her pictures of it and stuff. She's like, "Oh, that looks cool. I like Fortnite better."
Hey, real quick,
really?
Yeah, hey,
dead serious.
Dead serious.
Wow.
Well, you showed her pictures. You didn't show her actual
No, I showed her gameplay. I literally showed her gameplay of it. I showed her because the new season started. Because I was looking at videos of season 6 starting, and I was like, "Hey, Peyton, do you want to play?" I said, "You want to jump into Apex? The new season is starting." And she's like, "Oh, what does it look like?" And I showed her the trailer for the new season, and she was like, Fortnite's new season starts up next week, so I'm grinding that out." And we're talking about a kid that just started playing Fortnite probably 4 weeks ago.
Wow.
And she went from zero on the season pass all the way. She's at 90 right now. So in literally a month, just under a month, she's done. Because they say it's about 100 hours of gameplay to finish out a season pass. She's at 90 in less than a month. That's how much she plays the game, and she's like waiting for the next season to start.
And how much DLC did she buy for it?
She got me for about $70 already in a month.
Jesus,
you have to have that talk soon, Forte.
Hey, real quick, talk about most profitable game in the world. There you go.
Yeah. Yo, they about to change the industry, which is crazy with this one game. They about to sue everybody and just get that. Have their
but
own
I do think that has a lot to do, like when Bad Mother was talking about the way that Battletoads is kind of perceived towards like his kids and stuff. And like you even said, said, Brap, you said you might let your kids play the game and stuff if they're interested. I think that's where the avenue with this is. It's just another thing in Game Pass that somebody can just pick up and just play. It's not.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate thing is, they had an opportunity, like Slow-Mo said, to really dive into what the people really wanted. But it looks like they just gave you the skeleton, not the actual essence and soul of what the game is.
Yeah, real quick, guys. I want to go to live chat here because Predator H2O just brought up an interesting point. Big shout out to Pred. Said Phil popped out on E3 2015 in a Battletoads shirt. So 5 years, and this is what we got. So,
I, the one thing I'll say about it though, I do think I do wish a lot of gamers would, give. I get it. Like Microsoft needs to come out with their Stranger Things, right? Like I think if you're going to sell subscription to the mainstream, they gotta do that, and I think they're targeting that, but that's a long ways off outside of Halo. But I think aside from that, like these things, I think a lot of this generation, you kind of lost that middle class of gaming where you had, higher production values on more niche products. And that was something I remember like on the PS2 and on the OG Xbox, we got a lot of that stuff. And, personally, I've been, missing that in gaming. So I'd say that, I do wish that a lot of gamers would, like, even if they're not into it, would just be like, hey, that's still okay, because there is room in the industry for these things to exist, as long as that's not like the best thing you can put out there. I mean, obviously and I think that's kind of where we're at. It's like, yeah, they got to do better on the high end, but I think these things still need to have a place, and they have a hard time existing, like I think outside of those subscriptions, because people aren't going to pay $20 for Battletoads when they can go play Fortnite for free. But as part of a subscription, they can actually exist. So that's just one point I think that sometimes gets overlooked when we kind of talk about, like, hey, this game came out and it's a 7.0 or 6.9, like the favorite right now. But as long as it's not the only thing, I think there is a place for those games.
Yeah, no, I mean, I that's a good point, man. I get what you're saying, man. I mean, it kind of goes back to last generation where we had like developers like THQ and some of the AA developers that were putting out more niche titles, smaller titles, right? A lot of those companies, they went belly up.
Well, you look at Wasteland and Psychonauts; those were both crowdfunded before Microsoft picked them up, right? So I mean, and those things could barely exist before. Now they got a place, and those are games that people do like, even if they don't, they're not gonna sell 5 million on their own, but there is a place for them in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, I do want to, because I know we're talking about Game Pass, PSNow. And now we're kind of talking about Battletoads, but I just want to go back to B Money, because I don't know, B, if you had finished kind of your thoughts on Game Pass, PlayStation Now, before we jump back to Battletoads.
Yeah, I'm pretty much good on that. You know what I mean? Like I said, both of them do offer value. It just, when you're a busy gamer, you gotta, kind of carve out the time to check out to see what's in there. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. No. What's up, man? What about you, Slomo? Do you have any thoughts on PS Now Game Pass?
I mean, not really. Like I have both. Like B Money, I rarely use them. I can't think of the last time I actually downloaded or streamed anything from PS Now. Just haven't really seen anything that interests me. And it's been the same for Game Pass for the most part. I think the last thing I played on it was Gears Tactics, and I haven't really been looking since then.
Yeah, I mean,
but I have Game Pass on PC as well.
I do too, but I really don't. I'm always on Steam.
Yeah. I'm looking at Steam. I'm Epic Game Store is giving me a free game every 2 weeks.
Oh, they have what's it called right now for free?
Remnant. Yeah, Remnant from Ashes is free right now. I'm about to pull it up. Actually, I've gotten a ton of really good games from them. And yeah, I got too many other things to play, like Road Company. It's just
I hear you wanted to.
Oh man, I have over 2 days of game time in Road Company.
Playing that with the crew. I can't put it down.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm level 49. I have every character unlocked. It's pretty ridiculous. But no, look, Epic Game Store is giving me World War Z for free, Killing Floor 2. What else here? Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, and then also Assassin's Creed Syndicate was free, and Remnant from the Ashes. This is all this year. So it's just,
they're stepping up.
Yeah, they've been really stepping up.
They gave GTA 5 away for free, like not too long ago.
Oh yeah, how did I forget that? Yeah, GTA 5 was free as well, so I downloaded that as well. I got too many games to play, man. So like, I'm really not really. I think Game Pass is not really for me per se. And I'm not really paying for it because I did the $1 deal like a lot of you guys did. But I think the demographic for it is more of it's an interesting thing because the demographic is for the kind of casual gamer that has been missing out on all these really good games that maybe 6 months to a year to 2 years old, and they didn't really look out for those games when they came out. But if you subscribe to it, like I have like a couple of casual friends I know and just live locally around me, known forever, they barely play anything, and they have Game Pass. They love it. Like they're looking at all the games that are available, and they ask me, "Hey, is this any good?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was a pretty good game. Yeah, I'm gonna go play that now." And it's just like that's cool for them, but for me, it's just like I look through that list and I either already own it or I never wanted it in the first place. So here's what it is.
Don't forget about the ADD gamer, Slomo.
Say what?
Yeah.
I said, don't forget about the ADD gamer. The ADD gamer. It works for.
So, are you playing that on the rig or on the console?
Oh, which one?
Rogue. You playing that on PC?
I'm playing it on PC. And
okay. You gotta have me on that. We gotta get on that because I play with Blaze and everybody.
Oh yeah. What's your Rogue company name?
Same as here. Big Cloud Space.
Okay. I'll send you ever since the update on Monday, something got messed up
with the servers.
Yeah, my friends list is I know other people have told me I'm still on their list, but my list is empty.
Yeah, so show an empty list. People were glitching through like the walls, getting trick shot. It felt like it was weird.
Yeah, and plus my frames are still good. Like the game is really easy on frame rate on high end rigs like yours and mine. I'm playing at like 150 frames per second. That's the max. But like recently, I noticed that when you fly into the map, I'm dropping down to like 90. And then it goes once I hit the ground, and it goes back up to 150. It's just really some really weird things that like it's the new map's cool, and the deserter penalty's fine, but they seem to have broken more things than they actually fixed with this update. But we'll see what happens.
They need them big. I think they'll patch it within the week, but they just need some quality patch. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I don't think they realize how big this game is going to be for them.
I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They were completely taken aback by how big the game blew up. Yeah. I mean, they got Dr. Disrespect making maps for them. Yeah, like that kind of free publicity. You don't really, expect to see that when you launch a really small indie game from First Watch Games. They've never made a game before. This is their first game. High Res Studios is known for Smite, not for this kind of hero shooter. So it's amazing how big it's grown so far. And it's the one game I've been playing more than anything in the past month, and I don't really see that changing lately. So yeah, I'm sorry for Game Pass, because if this was in Game Pass, this would be an amazing get. See, it's like these kind of things you would think like, hey,
they'll be like really going all out for,
Yeah. You would imagine like that they always want to get like those smaller games that turn out to be sleeper hit. Well, this is a smaller game that turned out to be a sleeper hit, and you completely missed it. I'm pretty sure they would have loved to have been in Game Pass and took that Microsoft money up front for however long period it was in there, and it would have been an amazing find to have in Game Pass. But
not every game, and it's crazy because not every game is going to blow up like games like Rocket League. Remember how Rocket League blew up from nothing? That shit had no microtransactions. All Guys, that game had no microtransactions at first, but then it slowly got into it. Now it's just like one of the most addicting games that a lot of people still play, even on console. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, I got to get some super chats here. Neo Wise with the $2 super chat. Thank you. Says Battletoads launch without online co-op support too. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. How that was kind of odd. They did that. Then we have Carlos Crespin with the $2 super chat. Says do console pre-orders guarantee you one at launch? Actually, Forte could probably answer that.
What was the
Forte.
question?
Oh, do console pre-orders guarantee you one at launch?
Are they guaranteed?
Yes,
if you pre-order it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you pre-order it, it's all guaranteed. We just don't know when that's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick,
I was going to ask. Hey, Forte, does living close to you guarantee a console at launch?
Actually, it probably does.
Oh man!
So he gets it for free, but the Scumcast members can't even get a discount. Damn, yeah.
I don't even get a discount.
I'm doing the podcast with this guy.
I was saying,
Listen, man, if I get it for free, it's because Xbox and Sony gave it to me, not because GameStop gave me a discount on it. That definitely didn't happen.
I'm just saying, what happened to the Scumcast discount? You know what I'm saying? Like the price of on the house.
Listen, no. Really being right.
And like he can't do the price on the house for the Scumcast members. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
no, he can do that.
Let me ask you something, Forte. Can you guarantee us pre-orders, man? Because I need a sure thing, man. Because I don't know if my GameStop's gonna have enough pre-orders, whatever the case is, man. So can you keep an eye out for us, man? Can you let us know?
Look, man, all you gotta do,
we know you're gonna get the heads up too, man.
Well, everybody gonna
all
get
I want is the heads up. Like that's all. Just like a wink, nod.
Listen,
hey guys,
man,
like tomorrow,
Sony
it's
came
coming,
out.
right?
Listen, since all y'all want PlayStations, I know he want an Xbox, but I know the rest of y'all don't want PlayStations because y'all said y'all ain't buying Xboxes. Didn't Jim Ryan come out and say you guys will know well in advance before pre-orders go live? So you
know too.
Yeah, but
I mean, we'll know, but we want to know. We want to get that. Like, we'll know, but I'm just saying, we want to know if we get that discount in advance.
There's no discount. There's no discount, and trust me, if you want to get a system from my store, you got to pay for the shipping.
Hey, I'll pay for the shipping, though.
You ain't getting no discount though, because I'm not getting the discount.
I'm kind of afraid to do shipping, honestly, with this. Just because stuff get lost in the mail, quote unquote, lost in the mail. Just like, whoops, I don't know what happened to your shipment.
I mean, is it? Well, I mean, you can definitely drive here. How far is the DMV? What, 12 hours?
Oh God!
It's like 12 hours.
If we order it from his store, he'll legit put Scumcast edition on the box and batter the damn pad. Then
I'll get wrapping paper and get it printed on it and put it inside the box. Oh yeah, I'll wrap this with Scumcast paper. I'll put yours truly on the sticker.
Scumcast paper, what?
Yeah, I'll do everything. For Braps, I'll put for Braps, I'll say who done that for you. I'll put that on his line. I'll put a picture of Jim Dance Moves Ryan on it for him too. I got you.
Oh my God!
Bad Mother could just show up in my store. He in the perfect position.
Oh my God!
I'll have Enrique's Xbox.
Money. I'll make sure that he gets the copy with Damian Lillard on the cover of it because they gonna beat the Lakers. So I got all y'all. Slow mo. You already know what you gotta do. Slow mo.
What's that?
No, I have no idea. That kind of stuff. I'm a little afraid to ask at this point.
So I already know what he got to do, man.
Take off your shirt, slow mo.
No, take off his shirt. No, I ain't got nothing to do with it. All slow mo. You know what? I'll flip.
Were you there before taking your shirt off?
I will ship slow mo system to him free of charge. He still have to pay for his system, of course. But I'll give him free shipping. I'll give him free shipping. No. I will. No, not Bucksnax. snacks. I will something worse than butt snacks. If Slow-Mo would go ahead and accept the fate and say that Ashton Luca is his true mother, and he is literally the oldest of the Hellspawn, and that's his mother for life, I will ship him his system. I will ship him his system with free shipping. You still got to pay for your system, though.
Oh, okay, never mind. Look, if
no, you still got to pay for your system.
If the PS5 is free and you shipping it, yeah.
No, absolutely. You ain't getting off that easy. There's a couple of things that have to be done in order for me to ship.
Don't make me call Luke. I'll call her right now. Tell him to jump in this chat.
You gotta, because Slow-Mo, that would be the hardest thing in the world for him to do, because he's been telling Luca for the last 6 years that you ain't my mama.
Oh no!
I mean, yeah, but look, if the PS5 is free, I'll say whatever you want.
I know what Slow-Mo's price is.
That sounds scary. That sounds a little scary to be honest. But hey, speaking of PlayStation, Xbox stuff, and rumors, Big Cloud brought this up before we went live. That there's another PS5 maybe exclusive rumor, character exclusive rumor, with the what was it, the upcoming Suicide game, Big Cloud?
Yes, sir.
Are we gonna hear anti-consumer chats, Big Cloud? Go ahead, man. Spill the beans.
We gonna definitely hear him if this is true. Shout out to Idle Sloth. He actually put it out there on Twitter, and it got a lot of traction. It pretty much went viral. But the exclusive player that PlayStation gamers are gonna get is the Red Hood.
Wow.
Now, if they get the Red Hood exclusive, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of crying. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
a lot of crying.
People, especially if the Xbox version doesn't get some kind of character exclusivity.
Is this for the Court of Owls Batman game?
It's for the Suicide Squad.
Oh, the Suicide Squad one.
Yeah,
okay.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, let's say that Suicide Squad game has been in development for a long time. And B Money, I don't know if you remember, but you and I and Eric, we saw concept art for that game like 4 years ago?
Yeah, just about, I think.
Remember that? We saw the Batman on the Batmobile, we saw Harley Quinn, and we saw Suicide Squad members, and it was just like that was like 4 or 5 years ago, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't. So this game's been in the works for a while. No surprise, giving development times, but I think it's cool that it's finally coming to light after we thought initially when we saw the artwork that it was going to be announced at that E3.
Yeah.
That's what everybody thought, that it was coming rather soon.
Probably gonna be shown at a PlayStation show, the actual gameplay trailer and all that stuff. Even the Court of Owls, they announced the Court of Owls as well too.
God, if they look this, so Big Cloud, man, what you're saying, if this is true, this wouldn't surprise me given what we heard last week with Sony, that the news story of Sony going out and really reaching out to pretty much every third-party developer, publisher, and being like, hey, where can we make a deal? Let's make it happen. They're being super aggressive. I get it. I'm not going to say,
you're selling you're selling the box. Like, this is where the difference of strategy comes into play. Sony cares about hardware sales. Microsoft clearly does not care about the hardware sales. They just care about you getting in the ecosystem. That's why they're all out services. They don't really care about if you buy the Series X or not. It's just kind of an afterthought to them, and it's kind of going to be that way until they eventually phase it out. At this point, if it doesn't do the numbers they project, it's going to be like that.
At the end of the day, isn't it one and the same?
What's up?
I said, but at the end of the day, isn't it one and the same?
What, their strategies?
Yeah. You know what I mean? If you buy a console,
if you're putting all your games, like the games that matter, B Money, right? The ones that really gravitate you towards the console, and you're putting that on a service that's on multiple platforms where you don't need the said box, kind of not, because it kind of defeats the point in you buying the actual box. Yeah, Sony has their own thing where it's strictly for box, for the box, and they got their
true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. But after you buy the box, what do? You buy games, right? So you only make so much money off the hardware. So at the end of the day, you throw that hardware money out the window. It's like, you know what I mean? If it costs them $450 to make it and they sell it for $500, they made a little money. But if they don't get people who buy that box and actually be on that network and buy games on there, that 30% cut that they talk about every quarter, you know, when PSN is like smashing everything else around it, that's what they really need, and that's what they want. So, you know, at the end of the day, they want you to buy the box, but you know, buying a box is just, you know, walking you into the store, and that's what they really want.
I mean, they changed the whole metric strictly around the whole software service growth. So it really seems like their big vision, right, is like the growth in, because obviously xCloud is going to be officially launched by then, right? So xCloud, Game Pass, and obviously you're going to get growth through Gold because they got rid of the yearly. So you're either going to have to opt in either to the monthly or the weekly subscription, or not weekly, but the monthly, or actually the 3 months. Yeah, so that other thing. So that's how they're going about it.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, OBM.
I was going to say, I mean, you don't really have to look a lot further than just if you really want to be a Microsoft insider, just listen to what Satya says to his investors and like how they report out Xbox. It really, the only focus right now is the growth, like trajectory of the services and content. So there's nothing in there like about you know, like hardware. I think it's wrong to say hardware doesn't matter, because I think they understand that it does still matter for a large segment that they need to kind of like launch the rocket ship. They're never going to get Game Pass adoption to hit critical mass if they only rely on PC right now. They just don't have enough. They
will if they get like some massive deal, like third-party deal, where it's like the big third-party games, like for example the sports titles. If they can get Madden in Game Pass, that would be massive for them. FIFA will be massive for them. But again, that's kind of wishful thinking, right? That's if they're really throwing money at FIFA and Madden to get those in there.
Well, and that's why, you know, like honestly, when I look at these deals Sony's doing, and you know, Microsoft's going to buy more studios and stuff too, I don't have any problem with it. Like I know a lot of people like look at it like it's anti-consumer, but I think you want these corporations poking each other and, you know, going at each other, and you know, even if it does upset the base a little bit, because I think what we had this generation was kind of the lack of competition was boring. And I get they're not competing exactly, but they really still are. Like Sony is going to eventually do subscriptions. You saw what Sony did with paid online, right? They waited till kind of Microsoft made it, you know, got it past critical mass, and then they're like, hey, we have the brand, so we're going to let them do all the hard lifting, you know, take the lumps and kind of learn from them, and then we got the brand, and we'll jump in like right when it's hot, you know, we'll come in, and then we can throw in our God of Wars and stuff like that, and so I think, you know, you're going to see that these companies really are long-term competing for the same thing. They just have different strategies to get there today. You know, and Sony is going to keep leveraging. I mean, they make so much money in consoles. They're going to keep leveraging that, and there's no reason for them to relinquish that. But I think people will be surprised to see that Sony will eventually diverge, because if you've even listened to some of their executives, you know, one of their executives last year said, eventually consoles are going to be niche. You know, so they know it's coming. The whole industry does. Like all these mega corporations are investing in, hey, what are we going to do when 5G hits mainstream? You know, so that's
that is good question. Somebody actually brought that up in the chat. Do I think they'll go the same route as Microsoft later on? Honestly, again, with the way the industry moves, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, notice how Microsoft has Xbox Studios, right, as their whole branding now. What did PlayStation do recently? They got rid of the PlayStation like single studios, right, who make the games, and changed it and rebranded to PlayStation Studios. So again, I can see that actually happening later on. The question is when, right? When will they actually go the full route? And honestly, I think, because you know, we have new leadership. You got Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan's not dumb. Jim Ryan's about money.
No. He's
I
pretty
can
good
see
at it.
them. Yeah, I can actually see them literally dipping and dabbing into it until eventually where they'll get more complacent with it. And like I said before, there's going to be some key games that's really going to like dictate whether they're going to go all out into it. Like for example, Horizon Zero Dawn and a few others that might drop on PC.
Yeah.
So Horizon Zero Dawn did pretty well. It just wasn't a good launch in terms of the
Yeah.
optimization for the game. So
But he's not going to leave that money on the table.
he's not. Yeah, it'll be there. It'll be there eventually. So,
Yeah.
Brat PC Master Race.
Yeah, I think
I love PCMR, man.
Yeah, it'll be there. It will be there eventually. I can't
eventually
say
one
now.
machine.
Right. I can't say
Eventually-
now. I can't say next year or the year after. But I would really look at both these systems for what they are. Like these are kind of like small baby steps getting us into PC gaming, and they're really talking like they're really talking that slang that PC gamers talk about. I mean, we're talking about ray tracing, right? We're talking about frame rate, talking all that shit. Options.
What
Get
you're
that
going
on
to see,
PC.
I think what you're going to see is a lot of the industries. If you look at like how where technology is going, a lot of the technology is converging. Anyways, like there's not going to be a huge difference between your phone, the laptop you use, which you game on, like all that stuff, like especially as like Moore's law kind of slows down and 5G ends up hitting, like people are just they're just gonna pick up a device and expect it to do everything, So really, PC Master Race is kind of, I mean, it's the closest thing to the future right now, but you're gonna start to see more.
Say that again.
I shouldn't get Enrique going. I should have watched my words.
Enrique
But,
ready for this. He's waiting for this moment. You want to
But no,
hear
that's-
PC Masters.
That's really where you're going to see it all go. And even like Barra said it, he said, hey, Microsoft, you need to get bigger content because, like, yeah, you're doing the sex cloud thing. Yeah, you're doing the services, but everybody's going to do that in a few years. So if you don't hit those big AAA titles, these guys are going to lap you. And I think Microsoft oh, go ahead.
But I was going to say, but I think the biggest difference is Microsoft is going to be, PlayStation is going to do this, but it's going to probably be the generation after next. So
you think it's next generation?
It's not going to be. It's not going to be this generation that's coming up. It's going to be the.
So you
generation
think they'll build it? You'll think they'll build upon towards it?
They're going to basically, like you said, Microsoft has always been the company that kind of tries to innovate in that space, just like they tried to do with the Xbox One back in 2013. If you look at the contrasting arguments of where Xbox is now versus where they were at then, the only difference is they don't ask you to check in every damn day. That's the only difference. Other than that, the system for the most part is always online. You can play offline, but the majority of people that play on Xbox that, most of the people that we interact with, they're always connected to online, and that's part of the ecosystem that they're at. I mean, at least half of the Xboxes, if not a little bit more, close to 60%, are attached to Xbox Live. So they already pretty much knew that's where they wanted to go back then. They just took a very hard turn to get there. So they haven't changed their philosophy on what they're thinking. It just took them a little bit longer. PlayStation is going to do the same thing. They're just going to do it a little bit more tastefully when it comes into the player's eyes, because just like when they announced that we're going to have to pay for online, people gave them crap for it, but it was after a couple of weeks of thunderous applause of what Xbox did so wrong that they didn't even really think about it at that point. And it's just a natural, and at that point it was like a natural evolution because Xbox had already solidified it as a service that people are willing to pay for. So once Xbox does a whole nother generation with Xbox Game Pass, and especially if they continue in their upwards trajectory, which I think they will, because services like that only get better over time. And if their first party studios start turning out games that are something that makes people want to actually pay attention to it, you'll see Sony at the beginning of the next generation, whenever PS6 comes out, making that change over into that type of ecosystem. And Xbox will be something completely different than what it is now. Xbox might be unrecognizable by that point.
Yeah, at this
whole
rate, I
world
think
will be.
by the time they do it, I think Xbox is going to be one of those damn Fire Sticks that just goes in your TV.
There will be a Fire Stick. I truly believe
Xbox Fire
I
Stick.
do
X.
truly believe that.
It's going to be a Fire Stick that's going
I
in
do
your
truly
TV.
believe
Fire
that
stick
you'll
Yeah.
be able to hook up right through. You'll have an
Oh my God.
HDMI
HDMI
plug.
pass through type of thing, and just play through your TV, and then you know.
I mean,
same thing
well,
goes
think
to
about
your
it.
PS.
PlayStation was a little bit of ahead of the curve when they came out with the Vita TV, which was pretty much a pass through just for that. So let's be for real. For a little streaming box like something that small that you could play games on,
It's already been done before.
it's
Yeah.
already
You
been
mean
done.
you mean the PS TV?
Yeah, the PS.
Yeah, the PlayStation
PS
Vita.
Yeah, I have that.
And
Yeah,
they can
that
literally
Vita.
turn that little box into a streaming application
Yeah, absolutely.
where it can hook up to a TV. So Microsoft, that's where Microsoft will be when PS6 comes out. PlayStation will just be getting to the situation where they're putting all their games into a service just like Xbox did. And there'll always be like a generation behind each other. But the only difference is Sony has a big enough brand to still carry themselves throughout that whole generation without really missing a step.
Yeah, they're like the Disney, right? Like Disney waited till Netflix established it, and then they popped on there, and then overnight they're competing. And I think
they're competing with Netflix already, and they just started in December.
That's a great point.
But the only difference is Netflix and Disney fans don't go trolling each other. So
Yeah, no, they do. You gotta go.
Oh,
You gotta go
really?
to the. You gotta go to the streaming services for them.
See,
They
that's
troll
what
each
I
other.
want.
We got
That's what I'm
Mulan
wondering.
coming. What do you guys have?
Well, that's because you took everything off our service.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
That's why
Exactly.
all that stuff was on our service, and when you got your own, you was like, taking it
You
away.
want Daredevil? No, you can't have
No,
it.
you can't have it. It's on Disney now.
That don't matter. Like everybody, you can afford all that shit. Like that's the funny thing about it. Is like I wonder, like where's these troll? Like if your whole motto is like trolling, or you know your audience is all that. Like where are you going to be in a few years where everybody just has all the apps, you know, like on their phones, TVs, and all that shit. So it's like I think it's going there, you know, quicker than. And I think you're right, Forte. I you know, it could be a generation, but a generation's not that long. You know,
No, and
that's 5 years is how long it takes. You know, takes Rocksteady to make a game, or shit. That's less time than it takes 343 to make a game. So you know
they still like
Wow.
So
No,
I mean,
but
that's basically one AAA cycle, right? So like that's not that long of a time before we're kind of there, and I see like a lot of exciting things happen in the industry, and I think a lot of people get stuck in where we're locked up in our houses and you know get kind of losing our damn minds and fighting about the littlest shit. But like the industry right now is like offering more content for less money and making it more accessible, like worldwide. Like there's everybody. I don't care what system you play on. You got more shit than if you would have owned all the systems in any other generation, right? So it's like, and I think people they lose focus of that stuff and they get too caught up in the plastic wars. And I think we got, you know, that shit's probably got a couple years left in it, and then people are going to start realizing
Console
that.
War is eternal. That shit ain't going away.
You don't think so?
No.
It'll
no.
evolve into something else.
Yeah, the console war is like a virus. It will adapt. Like it will go from
Yeah,
it will go from
go
plastic to services.
It will go from people being, you know, arguing over the plastic to people arguing over the ecosystems.
Facts. Like, my ecosystem is better because I paid less than this year. And
Yeah, exactly. Or we
Yeah.
got more content on our ecosystem than
But
you
you
do.
know what?
Yeah.
But you know
exactly.
what? The funny thing is, and shout out to Chris B with the $5 super chat. Sony support for VR may also dictate the rate at which they move to services, and I think that's a really good point. Just for the fact that they are one of the few companies that does have that, and if they can penetrate the market very well with their next VR on top of the VR they already have in their ecosystem, that will give them even more leverage on having some type of even bigger service than even Microsoft can even have, because you start throwing VR and everything on top of that, you know, and especially going into the direction we're going with these games and stuff, being the only console with a competent VR compatibility side to it, I think that would really bolster their services if they actually did something like that.
They're about to really clean up on VR with the most recent news of Facebook forcing
Yeah.
Oculus users to have a Facebook account in order to log into their VR. Like that's
No one should be surprised by that, though,
dumb.
Slomo, right?
Yeah, no one should be
Yeah.
surprised, but that's real. Like they have no idea how much they're hated and how gamers hate stuff like that, especially when they I've seen people saying that was a concern that some people had who were interested in the Oculus, and they were told that wasn't going to happen. And then now that you buy it, yeah, it's going to happen now. Gotcha. So but I think that if they continue on with that decision, apparently it's going to be like for existing users, you have 2 years to switch over or something like that. But before this year is out, if you're a new user for like an Oculus Quest or a Rift or whatever, that's going to be the requirement. And they're really just like handing the whole VR market to Sony on the platter with doing that.
Yeah. And I think, Porte, to your point, VR is going to be a bigger thing in the future than I think a lot of people, even gaming enthusiasts, think it is. I was at a conference. I was at a conference, and it was funny. They were like talking about trying to give us ideas of things that are coming in the future, and like even like banks are planning on people having VR glasses down, not too far. So when you get to that point where people have those wireless devices, yeah, that's going to be something that's going to matter, I think, in gaming when that starts to become more standard, just in society. So it's an interesting topic for sure.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to say, everyone, we have 261 people watching right now in the live chat. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by, hanging out with us tonight. Please, we only have 55 likes. We have 5 downvotes. That's fine, whatever. Please hit that like button. There's 263 of us in here. Please hit the like button, and Slomo will take off his shirt for you. So, or not Slomo, I mean Forte. Forte will. Yeah.
Slomo, right. You were right.
Right. No, Forte will take off his shirt.
You got the dollar bills out?
Well, the true story, Forte actually did take off his shirt after we went off air one time.
It was hot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Forte's like, I'm hot, took off his shirt. I was like, okay, all right.
I moved the camera up so you didn't see my nipples, though. So
wow.
Oh my,
the nipple shots are only for the OnlyFans. You got.
Hey, if
I can see it now. Scumcast After Dark.
$6.99 Patreon, and you get to see the nipples.
Hey, maybe you know what I should do? I should do Patreon for Brap, or do like a member thing where you join as a Brap member on YouTube and you get nipple shots of Forte.
Oh man, you ever seen Waterboy? There you go.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So, on that note,
more like Billy Madison. Yeah. That is correct.
Yeah,
that is correct.
On that note,
Chris Farley.
So we, speaking of rumors, we got the rumors of Red Hood coming to PlayStation 4 or PlayStation as an exclusive character with the new DC games, and then we got Microsoft Xbox Series X at Forte. You probably had a big smile on your face, according to Alana Pierce on the Kind of Funny Xcast. A retail source told Pierce that the Xbox Series X will cost $600.
God,
well, what do you think? Is this? I mean, look, as people are saying,
You already know how I feel about this situation. Slomo talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, like someone showed her I think it was a screenshot, and some people are saying that this is a placeholder. I've actually heard for some retail folks that at this point in the game, it may not be a placeholder. Would you agree with that, Forte?
It could be a placeholder as long as they want it to be, honestly.
Okay.
They haven't announced any prices. If I remember correctly, when Xbox One came out, pre-orders went up before E3. So you were able to pre-order the system before E3 came out, and they didn't announce the system until the price of it till E3. And I believe we had it on pre-order for $399, and people that had it paid off had to come in and put more money down because they owed another $100. So I think it can be a placeholder as long as they wanted to be. But in some instances, I can see where certain retailers, depending on how their debt to credit ratio is, some retailers just get them off the back, and when they sell them, they have to pay the developer or publisher for what they sold. But if you're a company that just outright buys your stuff, then yeah, you probably already know how much the systems are at that point because you put some capital up to actually purchase those systems, so you have an idea of what they cost. So it depends on what kind of company you are, honestly. And I couldn't tell you what GameStop is because we don't work in the financial office.
Yeah, so that's what so what you alluded to is kind of what I heard about like retailers, like one retailer. So somebody
don't say no names.
Yeah, somebody I know said that
I'll tell you that.
But someone said that it may not be a placeholder because at this point it may be too late for that because for financials, like people are putting aside like budgetary things to okay, we know we're going to have to buy this amount of, what they're forecasting. We're going to buy this amount of consoles and they're going to sell for this amount, whatever the case is. Something like that is how I was explaining to me. I'm not in retail, so I don't know how everything works. But so I don't know. I'm not saying that it's 600.
The placeholder price will never dictate what the actual cost of the product is. So the placeholder price can be whatever it is, and that price can change and up until literally right before they get ready to sell it. So whenever you get those street date items where it's like, oh, this can't be sold to, August 28th or whatever. Sometimes, depending on the retailer, if you go to check it out, it's just going to ring up at $0 or whatever the case is. It could ring up at $9,000 or whatever until that price is actually activated. So the placeholder price can be there up until whenever, until they get ready to sell it.
So
but that doesn't dictate the cost of whatever the retailer paid to get that unit in the store.
So one of the easiest websites to see if a placeholder is correct, if you ever look on there, like on Amazon, if you look on there and you see who the item is fulfilled by, and it says Microsoft or Sony, then you know that price is more than likely the right price. I mean, not the right price. That's a placeholder price. If it's filled by them directly, then it's a good chance that the price that they're listing is the actual price. Because if it's being fulfilled from Microsoft, because Amazon is basically just like selling them off their website, but they're being shipped directly from like Sony's warehouse or Microsoft's warehouse, they're just using Amazon as the go-between. That would be a situation where it could just be a placeholder. But if they're being fulfilled by Amazon, that means they're coming from Amazon's warehouse, meaning Amazon probably purchased those systems up front. Like I said, we really don't know what the situation is when it comes to the purchasing rights or how they actually do it. But for the most part, a lot of companies purchase this product up front. That's why they want you to buy warranties and stuff like that. That's why, because they're trying to make some of the money back that they're not going to make on selling the system. They buy these systems at cost. A cost is like $5 less than what the system is, or $15 basically on like a $500 system is usually like a 5% cut that you get for selling it. So it really just depends on that. But ultimately, I just think, look, man, it could be anything, but you truly already know how much I feel these systems are going to be, unfortunately.
Well, what is that feeling, Forte? Remind us, please.
Well, remind you.
Remind us. I forgot.
Scare these men about the piece.
No, so listen. All right, so this came up because Luca was getting on me. Slow-mo was getting on me. He said, "You change your mind more than flipping pancakes." Okay, I got you. They say you change your mind as much as you flip pancakes. I got you. Even Gregor and them in the chat, they was getting on me about it in the show yesterday too. I just try to tell people there is a difference in what I feel is going to happen versus what is truly going to happen.
And what you feel is going to happen changes like the wind.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What I feel happens.
Oh, you got receipts?
Changes. What I feel is going to happen.
The episode yesterday is my receipts. He changed his mind like God.
I literally said in that show that I feel like these systems are going to come out at a $600 price point. But I said they're not going to do that because, well, especially for Xbox, for the simple fact that they don't have anything to sell the system on. right? Like right now, they
You
don't.
just in those two sentences contradict themselves.
No, they don't because it's two.
You
different-
said I think
no, I'm telling
they
you
are
what-
going to
what-
release at $600.
What I feel,
But they're not going to release at $600
because I don't think
because of
Microsoft
Halo
is gonna
Infinite.
release them at
It's
$600.
like you're arguing with yourself. You just
No, I'm not
both those
arguing.
sentences contradict.
He's
each other.
arguing with himself.
Okay.
See, Enrique, I was worried that this show wasn't gonna. This is like going to be a normal show, and I wasn't hearing Forte and Slow-Mo go at it.
It's definitely not going to be a normal show because Slow-Mo's always trying. No, simple fact of
I'm
the matter.
not doing all I'm
All right, you know what? Let's
got my
classify.
popcorn.
If you think someone's arguing with this, let's
Popcorn.
classify this. Do we think Microsoft has a leg to stand on selling this system at $600?
Absolutely not.
They don't. But they probably had a. But do you think that they could if they want to?
No.
You
Yeah,
know,
they will. They
yeah,
will.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, they can.
Yeah, they
And they
can.
will sell every last one of them.
They will. They
mean,
will. Look. They
no,
will
you
sell
can't.
out.
Let's be for real. They will sell
They
every
are not
at
still,
$600.
I mean, at $600 a pop though.
Slow, Big Cloud. They ain't gonna sell every system at $600 this holiday. They won't sell every last one.
Nah.
I don't know,
Look,
man. This
No,
time, like,
okay, no,
if
it
we
ain't no, I
weren't,
don't know. It's no, I don't
if
know.
we weren't,
Answer
if
the
we weren't
question.
in this time, hold on, finish. If we weren't in this like crazy time, you know, where everybody's
Yes,
out
stop
working.
using this crazy time where people got more money than they ever had in their whole life.
Yeah, true.
That's
I-
not true.
well,
That's
you know,
not
you
true.
got, you know, you
That
got,
is
That's not
true.
true.
you got a
That
point.
is true.
You got a point. He does have a point. He does.
No,
have a
that's not
point.
true. Though. That is a blanket
People-
statement. That
listen,
is
no,
not true.
People that are listening, no,
is
let's
at
be for real.
record
People-
level.
He's got a
No,
point.
listen, people that are buying these brand new systems, we
got
ain't
a
talking about the whole freaking world now. People that are buying, that even thought about buying these systems, have more money than they had in like the last year. They got
don't know
more
that.
money sitting there
I was
because the U.S. government gave
Growth over
And-
exaggeration. For that.
and in Forte's defense, I will say that I had to listen to both quarterly earnings calls today for my company, and this is like the biggest growth that we've seen in like 3 years. Billions of dollars were made in this last quarter. So people got money, and they are definitely spending it.
on the wrong stuff, but they
Here's the thing though. People, okay, and I'm not disagreeing with you, B, because I think Walmart released their quarterly, and they're like, "Yo, we blew it through the roof," right? But I'm not going to sit there and say that everybody has more money because I don't know that.
No, we're talking about the people that are buying these systems day one.
But you don't know
They
that,
have
Forte.
the money. They're not
No,
going.
they
out
have
to
the
buy-
money, but
No,
you said
they're
they've
not.
had the most money.
No, we're
They
talking about the
do.
wrong thing here. We're talking about the wrong thing here. This is the reason why that if they go at $5.99, it's not going to sell out.
Okay.
It's not that people don't have the money. It's that they don't want to spend it on that.
Oh,
At
my
$600.
Wow.
Slow-mo,
It's not a
Slow-mo is
strong
in this
enough-
make-believe
Xbox is
universe
not
where he
a
feels like
strong
people
enough
all
brand.
think like him.
It's not a strong enough brand.
So
For
neither
people
one
to
of these
say,
systems
I'm
are
gonna
sell at
spend
$600.
$599 on a new system that does not offer any games that I
Slow-mo.
can't play
Slow-mo, what
on
was
the previous
premise?
system.
Slow-mo,
That's a good
what was
point.
the
And if people didn't buy the
premise
previous
on
system,
this?
you gonna let me finish my statement?
No, because
if people didn't buy the previous system, why are they gonna buy the new
one
one?
side of the conversation?
Wait,
and
wait,
it's
wait, wait.
always been about
Forte.
both sides of the conversation.
Forte,
I didn't say just one would. I said one of these systems will sell at $600. You saying Xbox might not do it because they don't have the heart, they don't have the games to do it. PlayStation
Didn't you just say we talking
I'm
about
talking about any
the
system can
Series
do it.
X price?
Any system, Slow-mo. I'm thinking both can do it. Any one of them can do
Forte.
it
I don't think
at $600.
Sony will ever come close.
We've
to
been
$600
talking
bucks.
about the Series X price this entire conversation.
Slow-mo. But what have I been saying for the last 3 months? Have I just said Series X or did I say any of these?
What you said 2 minutes ago was the Series X would
We were
sell out at
talking about the Series
$5.99.
X. We were talking about the Series X, but I'm telling you,
Okay,
I've
all
been
right,
saying for
panel,
the last 3
panel,
months.
panel.
Wait, Slow-mo, he's not wrong with saying that the Xbox Series X can sell out at 600. I mean, there's ways to artificially achieve that goal by maybe shipping limited quantities. I mean, Jeff Grubb mentioned that last week. They could do that.
Come on, Enrique. Limited.
Nah,
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, yeah.
Microsoft is not Nintendo. They're not going to do that. Nintendo
And-
used to do that in the past.
And we have
impression. I'm sorry.
And we have historical precedent too, where PlayStation 3 launched at 600 and sold out at launch.
And I keep telling people, I said it on our show yesterday.
That launch it'll sell.
Yeah,
it's a 6 months after that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that, B Money.
What I said on our show yesterday, B.
You did say that, Forte.
I literally said, I was like, listen, they are going to sell out day one. It is a completely different problem after February. When February starts hitting and they ain't got no games out there for people to go out there and spend money on, people are going to be thinking about that $600 because they're like,
they ain't got no games at launch for them to spend on.
It doesn't matter because people buy any
diehards. The diehards will buy
it. Christmas.
Yeah,
the diehards will buy it into it. That's the
I'll have to agree with that. They'll buy everything at launch.
Exactly.
The diehards
Don't argue with a person that sells this stuff every day for
Okay.
I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not arguing with Forte because he's my pre-order.
He's got a point. The diehards will buy it day one. Like the PS3 was $600. They bought it day one.
Like
yeah,
idiots,
PS3 was
they
sold
still
out.
bought it.
Yeah, it was sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
It's just a matter of that launch. The following month will be the crazy month for them.
Yeah, it's usually after the holidays. You got to worry about
and
that.
I agree. If Slow-Mo made that argument and said in the second quarter of 2021, there's going to be Xboxes sitting on shelves, I'll be like, you know what, bro? You absolutely right. They going to be sitting there.
They're going to be sitting on there regardless of what the price is.
Oh shit!
Oh,
And you know it's shitty, and that's why everyone's laughing because you know I'm right. They're going to be sitting on shelves regardless of what the price is.
Let me ask you.
What I'm saying is,
using a whole utility belt tonight, boy.
and look, this is what I said on Weapon Wheel, and this is what I said when me and Forte did our stream yesterday. That when you are the weaker brand, you need to give incentives to your demographic in order to give you a shot to get to try you. And one of those incentives, one of the bigger ways of doing that is to be cheaper, than your competition, which is part of the reason why they aren't actually going out there and just saying, well, we're going to be at $4.99 or $5.99, whatever. They're waiting on Sony. They're trying to do this cat and mouse game where they hoping Sony will go first. Is because they want to match them in price. Now, I actually believe they need to be cheaper than them because as of right now, PlayStation is the bigger brand. It is the better known and better well-received brand by not just gamers, but non-gamers. There are people who just, they want to play a game every now and then, or just have something around the house, like older people have something around the house for their younger nephews, nieces and nephews, grandkids to go play whenever they come over. When they think about things like that, they go get a PlayStation. They don't get an Xbox. And so when you are the weaker brand, you have to give people incentives to try you out. Xbox Series S, I know a lot of people have been saying the Series S. Can I finish my statement? You've been cutting me off all night. Can you be quiet, boy?
Try you out like they brand new to
Forte, let him finish his comment.
You're biting over here really badly, man.
We gotta let them try out the brand new system.
Forte, we will mute you if you do not let Slow-Mo finish his comments.
The Series S is a good incentive for that because it's going to be significantly cheaper to get people in the ecosystem. But the Series X, that doesn't mean that's going to sell. If you are matching PlayStation in price, yet you have no games that people are really going to want, they're going to be system sellers, nor do people really be checking for your brand like that. You're just going to get outsold straight up and down. And if anything is going to sell out at launch, it's going to be that Series S. So not the Series X.
So if I was Slow-Mo, we ain't gonna bet on this because we got too much stuff going on as it is already.
Yeah, you lose too much money at the
end. When we gotta move on to the next topic.
Hold on. What you're basically telling me, Slow-Mo, is would you be willing to put your life on it, saying that there will be
life? Well, hold on. What are you talking about? Are you playing Russian roulette over here?
Are you willing to make the ultimate sacrifice by saying that?
Ultimate sacrifice.
27, y'all playing Russian roulette?
Are you willing to say that?
What movie did I step into?
Bro, we in that Samuel L. Jackson movie. Was it 187? They playing Russian roulette.
Like the ultimate sacrifice. Like, yo,
I gotta literally put some tape on the ground for slow mo because I don't know where you're going.
Would you be willing to stake your life on it?
All right.
Your answer is no,
but also
not really.
Wait. Forte, wrap up your point because we got to move on to the next topic.
Okay. All right. You're right, and that's hyperbolic, and I don't mean it that way. But honestly, Slomo, you truly believe,
oh my God,
truly in your heart believe that there will be Xboxes available for you to buy after during Christmas, like the day before Christmas. You telling me that you'll be able to walk into a store and buy an Xbox Series X? You're telling me that will be a thing.
Yes.
We're doing best for the Jeff. I'm done for the
So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna remember this conversation. We don't have to talk about it ever again.
Yo, shout out to Jeff Flow. He said, "Welcome to the Thunderdome pit."
We'll talk about we won't talk about this conversation again.
All right,
December 24th, the day that I'm in my store, I'm gonna literally take a screenshot of the closest 1,000 stores next to me, and we're gonna see if some Xbox will show up on that list.
Man, that's a lot of work.
All right, let's wrap up. I'm telling you, I've heard some.
Put your life on it. My man said, "Put your life on it."
Yeah. All right, real quick, guys.
I gotta be for real. Slow mo.
Yeah, hey, real quick, guys, because I want to get to these last few topics real quick. Actually, I'm just gonna look. Ghosts of Tsushima Legends. Sony just announced. Super excited for that free online co-op mode. Think it looks really badass. Everyone in agreement? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, let's move on to the last topic.
Shout out to the greatest show that Brap has had. I love this. Let's go.
Yeah. Will you put your life on the line? I'm like,
you're welcome, Bad.
Yeah,
bro, this shit turned to Russian roulette when he said, "Put your life on it."
Hey, please, everyone, seriously, hit that like button. We got 280 people watching. We got, we provide laughs, entertainment.
Please hit the like button. Or Forte gonna bet your life on it, okay?
Exactly.
Bet your life that we won't get 100 likes. You know what I'm saying?
Retweet that tweet.
Exactly.
I just please get some people.
Yeah. All right. So we got some more Halo Infinite news regarding the developing the issues with the development at 343i. And Brad Sams said that development of the Halo TV show has been a significant distraction for 343 management, oftentimes taking their priority instead of focusing on making sure development progress is on the right path to reaching its target deadline. Now, since that report, Kiki Wolfkill, what's up, Kiki? Nice. Yeah. She has said that the studio 343 has a transmedia team that works independently of the game developers. So if you get I think most everyone knows this, that Microsoft was working with Showtime on a Halo-based TV show.
Mm-hmm.
But Kiki Wolfkill's come out and said no. In fact, that is not the case. We have two separate teams. But Brad Sams also confirmed things that we've talked quite a lot about with regards to the development issues at 343i, talking about the outsourcing, which again is common in AAA games. That does happen, but the amount of outsourcing that's taking place in this game is higher than what developers typically do, and that some of the outsourcing to studios has been challenging, with significant disagreements occurring during development. And we've also heard rumblings of people leaving. Big shout out to Optimus Code. He did mention he heard as well that that some people, they didn't realize the challenge of having to design two different separate Halo Infinite games for the Xbox One platforms and the Xbox Series X. And that the consensus internally was we should be focusing on the Series X. So there was some back and forth about that, and people actually did leave 343 as some of these issues were happening internally. Yeah. So I mean, look, it's a little more insight. Kiki Wolfkill saying one thing, Brad Sims saying another. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in the middle. But Big Cloud, you actually did a recent video on your channel about this.
Yes,
So what are your
sir.
thoughts on this, man?
They're blaming everything but themselves for that trash. That's the problem. Blame yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I really, honestly, not just them. Blame the people who actually greenlit and showed that. That was the most ridiculous showcase at their show. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Yeah, let's show our flagship game, which is supposed to have ray tracing, all the bells and whistles of the next gen system, without it.
Yeah, and real quick, Big Cloud, regarding that trailer they showed, that specific trailer was actually worked on by one of the development teams that they've outsourced part of this project to, which I found kind of interesting. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't know. Perhaps you have a lot of trust in that team that you contracted this to, but I don't know.
Yeah, in this industry, first impressions are everything, right? It's kind of like a job interview, you know? First impressions are everything, and the first impressions for that are bad. And I agree with what King Davis said about the matter. I think they honestly should just go and hit up Bungie and have them do, because they're talking about this being the only Halo you're going to get, right? And this is going to be for like 10 years, an expansion, like it's going to last. You might as well hit up Bungie and literally work whatever you need to do out to get them to fix it.
Oh hell no!
I think
Bungie
that needs to
say
happen.
no.
I know
no.
Bungie's not going to do it, but here's the thing: you need to.
They left
cash.
Microsoft to get the hell away from Bungie.
I know. I'm
They
saying
ain't coming back.
You need to throw whatever budget. I don't care. Whatever. Take as many hams you need. You need to fix.
I mean, they got to.
I mean, like, yeah,
and
Their
Bungie
next
is
3 years of Destiny is still planned out. So they
they're an
definitely can't do
800
that.
developer studio, and they don't even have enough people to
Work on the
really
game they working
like
on.
fulfill the content loop for Destiny, as well as that other game that NetEase has them making.
Yeah.
For them to take on Halo, which would be essentially doubling the amount of resources they have already dedicated to Destiny, they're not up to the task for that. Also, they're not the same developer that they were back when they were doing Halo. Like a lot of those big time veterans that were well known at Bungie back when they were doing Halo are even at the company anymore. So
that's true. In a weird way, they create their own new Halo to replace it. It's crazy. Like they're doing much bigger things.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, I do agree that if, one of the solutions to this issue is outsourcing it, taking 343 off of the game and outsourcing it to someone else, but I just don't know who that person could be.
Who wants that?
Who they got? Like the Obsidian? No.
No, I don't want Obsidian doing that.
You want
I want Obsidian making what they want to make.
None of their first parties are equipped to handle this kind of undertaking as well. And plus, it would just completely shelve all the games that they're working on right now. From Obsidian, I will much rather they just give me Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed than try to take this on and fail at it, because they've never made a first person shooter in this way before. It's just not.
Your first game shouldn't be a Halo game.
Yeah, I think I suggested this yesterday. I think they need to get rid of the entire upper management for 343, including Bonnie Ross, but do so in a way where you hire her replacement, have her replacement shadow her, and then when the game launches, you replace her, and that replacement now understands all the things that are wrong with the company, all the things that are wrong with the culture, and can just get those changes made so that this ongoing game, as it's supposed to be, can now really get some fresh eyes on it and really make it the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Because right now, like, you got like all these extra developers coming from extra contractors. They're pulling developers from their other first party studios. That's hindering those other games that need to be worked on and developed so they can get out too. Like 343 is just being mismanaged straight up and down. It's done. And we can blame Bonnie, and it is essentially her fault. But I also would blame the Xbox executives that allowed this to continue for so long. This isn't like a startup studio. This studio's been around for a decade, and these issues are systemic, and they've been there the entire time. So you know, it's too late in the game to be like, oh, we didn't know. No, you did know, or you just ignored it. So
what's more telling about it is this, though, and this is on ILP as well. And I know Enrique remembers this question, so I'm gonna bring it for you guys. Do you guys think if they didn't get the backlash, that they were still gonna release it in this shape to the public?
Yeah, I think they would.
So. Yeah, I think they would have. I mean, there's rumors that they're gonna really piecemeal it.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So you had to wait even longer just for the basic feature, which is like the main thing they're betting all odds on, and that's ray tracing.
Well, I don't. You said if they didn't show it,
like no, if they
if it was received well, if the backlash didn't happen, would they have just gone?
I don't know because
put your life on it, Forte.
I don't know because I'm listening. Oh no, I don't put my life on anything but my kids and my wife. That's it. I'll walk in front of anything for them. But I think after like I said, there's really no way to truly know this because hindsight is 2020, and they have the knowledge of knowing that people didn't like it. But I don't know, man. Maybe I just choose to believe that Phil Spencer, when he said on Animal Talking, when he was on the show with them, and he actually asked him that question about delaying it and how the process of that went. And he said they started talking about it like a couple of days after the announcement of the game. And then, well, not the announcement, but the reveal of the game. And it was like a week until they finally made the decision to delay it. And then it was like 24-hour difference between when they decided to delay it and tell the fans that they were doing it. But he also said that they did come up with that idea of releasing it piecemeal, and Phil Spencer, because that was Bonnie Ross and Chris, I forget the guy. Yeah, Chris came to him and said that, well, we can release it in parts, and Phil said, I don't want to do that. So I would kind of hope that with that being the decision that would fall at Phil's feet, that he wouldn't release the game like that. But if it was 343's decision to do, easily, I think they would have released it like that. It wouldn't have been a problem for them to release it like that. But I just want to believe that Phil Spencer didn't want that to be that he wanted a whole package to come with Halo. And I think if Halo didn't have either the multiplayer or the single player day one, are you really releasing Halo then when it comes to a new system? And that was the whole benefit of what they were trying to do with releasing the Xbox Series X at the same time as Halo. If you don't have the whole game, then you don't have the game.
You think they would have? I would have thought they would have tried to salvage it by announcing that the multiplayer was probably going to drop for like Game Pass users or something. I don't know. Like,
well, that's still not. Well, that's still. I mean, honestly, they can still do that.
Yeah, that's what I thought they would do.
They can still easily do that. I just think that Microsoft, when it comes to the idea that was being kicked around about bringing the game out in pieces, I think them bringing the game out in pieces was like not just the single player and multiplayer being separate, like literally the campaign would be broken up in segments. They would bring out, especially with them going into this direction of it being a games as service and it being a 10-year plan, they would have just broke the game out in segments into the parts where you could like, this parts of the game is playable. In the next month, we'll have another part of the game that's playable. And I don't think Phil Spencer wanted that to be a thing. I think when the game was ready for single player, they were going to release that, and they want to release it along with the free multiplayer because, like I said, if you don't release Halo as a full product, it's not releasing Halo. People don't. It's not Master Chief Collection, and even that was broken at day one, so that didn't work for them either.
True.
Well, the thing that caught me, I don't know if you picked that up, Forte, but when they were talking to Phil about that. And he talked about, hey, the delay was my call. And he said, hey, 5 years ago, I couldn't have even done that.
No, I did catch that. He literally did say that. He was like, I don't know if I could have made that call 5 years ago. He literally did say that.
So to me, like when I look at 343, they're part of, you got to think about how the team was built, where their processes came from. They were like, basically they're the epitome of what Microsoft Game Studios was this entire generation. And like rushing it, that even Halo 5 was rushed out incomplete. And, it was basically about getting your game out for the quarter to make the to make your quarterly earnings calls.
Yep.
Whereas Sony was always like, all right, this is our brand is too important. We're not going to do that. We're going to take a hit. And you even heard leadership say earlier in the generation, like, hey, yeah, we're going to be sparse right now, but it's going to pay off. And you know what? It did. And so I think, when I look at it, there's two different ways you can kind of focus on it. Obviously, one is like, well, why the hell were they even thinking of it? And to me, that's part of what the culture has been, this whole generation. But the fact that they actually could delay it, and I guess we'll see where it turns out, that could be something that we look at as a turning point next year, and I think you got to see where it lands at this point, because 343's structure, their processes, their entire culture was built under an old Microsoft that was micromanaged. It was too many executives in the creative rooms. We've heard all that stuff from insiders and, people that have been there before. So I think you got to maybe just, there's not a reason to have faith in them, but at the same time, they do have all new creatives. They did pull some people from outside of 343 for this, and maybe we just got to see what happens, So
yeah. Sometimes I think Phil, and I use the analogy because he's a huge Destiny fan and he plays that game. That's like his favorite game. That's why you see Destiny and Game Pass, because I believe in that partnership has been built over the course of years with Bungie and stuff. But I think he looks at a lot of this stuff like we look at it, as like gamers, instead of looking at it as an executive that needs to like 100% sell these games and sell this system. I think for him, he just loves the ecosystem. He loves what the platform gives to him. So when he looks at it like, typical Xbox people look at the ecosystem, what it gives you, the benefits of it, but he doesn't look at it as like, what extra stuff we need to add to it to make it stand out from our competition and stuff, because he feels like Xbox is good for what Xbox is actually good at. They're good at, their services. They're good at, online multiplayer. They're good at those type of things, the things that Microsoft as a whole is good at. So when you look at him talk about not wanting to bring exclusive games and buy out exclusive rights and stuff like that and take a game away from somebody, I think that's him thinking to himself, like, he didn't like that when he had to deal with that in games that he liked. I always go back to, Destiny was a game that he 100% plays. And how do you think he felt to go into a game where a good 10% of the content wasn't there for you on the platform that you enjoy playing on those games on? So I think that kind of built the foundation on how he thinks about, and like I said, I'm putting a whole bunch of words in his mouth. I don't know, but that's just how I think when I'm looking at him saying how he talks and he, communicates about these things. When he talks about them, it's just like we all want the best for our platform, but we don't want to take away the essence of what makes that platform good for us. But I think that's the problem with him, because he's the lead of the platform and he kind of has to think outside of the box on, hey, just because I think the platform's good, what about all these other people in the ecosystem? Do they think it's good? Should I be listening to what they want on the platform? I may not want to have exclusive games that I buy out from other publishers to bring over. I may not want those exclusive contents because I know how detrimental that is to the player bases that don't have it. But if my fans need that in order to want to buy my product, I kind of need to do that. So I think that is part of the reason that he has such conflictions, and people say he flip-flops a lot, because I think in his mind he's fighting two fights, and I think overall his heart just wins when he don't want to do stuff like that. But like I said, it's just an overall thing that I've been thinking about Phil Spencer for like the last couple of months, and I just noticed that like over the last couple of weeks that's how he's been talking.
Well, I mean, actually, I would say like the bosses of Xbox are their investors, and since Phil sits up next to Satya, he's got to be an executive first. No matter, I mean, he could sit there and be like, "Hey, this is what I want as a gamer," but at the end of the day, he is an executive whose job is to give them profits,
right?
And if he's not doing his job, they're gonna. Like legally, he's responsible to help them make profits, nothing else. And so, like I think he understands the industry, but it's always like that thing, like, hey, this is what I'm selling to Satya to tell the investors to get the money to invest in here, and this is our strategy. And so you got to balance it. And I feel like just listening to him talk, he understands what the gamers want, but at the same time, he's got to figure out how to toe that line. Anybody who's done management understands that. Like sometimes you get things and it's like, hey, I gotta sell this to my team. I don't like it. I don't like everything here. I can make the best of this thing, and you're always trying to kind of figure out how to kind of toe that line, right?
Yeah.
You know what you want for everybody. You know what's best, what you think's best, but sometimes you don't get agreement.
No, and that's the part that really gets me, because if I go back and I just think about that Animal Talking show with Gary Whitta, first of all, that is an amazing way to promote your podcast. I saw it for the first time and I was like, dude, this is crazy. I didn't even know you could do this at Animal Crossing, but it is pretty phenomenal. But the fact that he was on a podcast with Animal Crossing themes, that's basically a Nintendo show talking about Xbox, and in the same show talks about how great first party and how important it is for Sony and Microsoft, it kind of just lets me know that like he just doesn't think like they think. Like what executive from Sony or Nintendo is going to go on Major Nelson's TV radio show and talk to him about PlayStation?
No, it's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
No.
But
Not right now.
But Phil Spencer does this all the time.
Yeah.
I think he's an experiment, honestly. If Phil Spencer doesn't work, you'll end. I don't know if they're going to keep Xbox if he doesn't work. But
that's my thought process on it too. I think Xbox is out the door if this doesn't work.
Yeah, I think this is kind of their shot, and they're getting the bags from Satya, but they're going to get it for what the strategy is. Which I don't think that those, like, investing in those temporary exclusives is something that he can sell right now. Just to being honest.
Yeah, I mean, great points, guys. Great points. Real quick, guys. I did everyone in the live chat. I did drop a code this week for $25 digital gift card for PlayStation. And somebody got the code. Let us know in the live chat.
I already redeemed it. Their loss. No,
did you?
No, I'm playing.
I was about to say, man, man, that's messed up. gotta let the Brat fans get it. I expect you to give us a code back.
I was gonna do a trivia, but I was like, you know what? I got to wrap up the show because I get up super early, so I couldn't think of a trivia.
Go ahead and drop that PSNow in there.
Yeah. So, okay. Sir Nick actually got it. He said, "Yay, it went through." Congrats, Sir Nick. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us this fine evening, Wednesday.
Yeah, appreciate
August 19th. Woo! And I just want to say something. PC is the best place to play gaming.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I would agree with Forte.
Depends on the game.
We go through. Yeah, the shit we go through.
So we were watching people fly through the air on Fall Guys yesterday, and it cost us a ring.
Bro, that happened with Meds. He won a game, like, the hexagon drop. Yeah, dude, yeah, he was hacking. Like, like the part where you like fall in the hexagon, like the path thing where it falls through the map. Dude was just falling, but he wasn't dropping, and everybody else was like, doing the game normal. He actually won because Meds. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of the downfall with PC. Like Optimus Code always beats his drum that it's cheaters. Yeah.
Cheaters.
Like
he's right about that.
Yeah. So I mean, like I was talking to Delirium Blades on DM this week, and he was saying on Warzone he swears people are like wall shooting now, shooting through walls. They're glitching. So it would surprise me because there's definitely some questionable things I see on Warzone. I'm like, wait a minute. This dude just shot me through a wall, and
much.
Yeah, it's that. But outside of it, look, nothing's perfect, guys. The console, you get crappy frame rates, but hey,
and you get hack lobbies as well.
Yes, you do. So not everything's perfect, and we are getting NVIDIA cards coming out soon. And I do want to say something about PC. Slow-Mo's been beating this drum for quite some time that the Series X is on par with the 2080 Ti.
This is so false, but continue.
So can we stop comparing $500 piece of hardware to $1,200 GPUs, just the GPU by itself?
Slow-Mo, you already know what that comment is going to do, right? What he just said.
So
Oh,
yeah,
them dudes.
that's
Did you see the
Putting on
benchmarks? It outperformed your rig for $400. Okay.
no, it's not how that.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
It's not,
Okay.
There
Yeah,
will
it's
be
not-
no system that can no PC that can be built that will outperform these systems for less than $1,000.
Exactly. Have fun with that. There's no way you're doing that. But okay.
Yeah, it's all perspective. I think the easiest way to look at it is look, $500 for something that includes everything versus just one item. All right. So,
Wait till next generation when these 30 series cards come out.
yeah.
Actual
did you
hardware
see
ray
did you
tracing,
see
not
the-
software.
Yeah, did you see the leaked image that RGT put up where it
Oh
was
my
like
God.
$1,600 for the 3090 all the way up to 2,200 for the 24 gig variant?
Oh
Yo,
my God.
that's crazy. Like I was talking to Blades and Mooch, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get 3090s." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
you
probably-
are.
not me. I'll probably get a 3070. I'm good at 3070, or maybe a 3080, depending on the price." But
Listen,
I
if
see
I
them
get
price points. That's
listen,
what
if I
really
get a
asked.
3090, I'm not buying either one of these systems.
I mean, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
If I buy a 3090, I'm not.
I mean,
if
you can buy a
30
PS5 and just rock
no,
your
not
multiple.
day one. If I get a 3090, I'm not buying a PS5 or Series X until something comes out that I want to play.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
I mean, I
Because
got people.
I'm gonna get the benefit of my 3090.
Yeah,
Well, this is why NVIDIA was really pushing to make sure they got out before AMD, because AMD definitely isn't going to price big Navi at the kind of prices that they're pricing Ampere. The Ampere
I heard
line.
Big Navi's gonna be big booty.
Oh shit! All this capping that we were doing for it. I mean,
Yeah, it's not gonna even. I heard it's not gonna even compete with Nvidia's higher.
Well, I mean,
cards.
we knew they weren't going to.
I
We
didn't jump.
knew they weren't going to compete with Ampere anyway. But just as long as like what I was hoping from AMD was to outperform the 2080 Ti.
Yeah.
Outperforming the 2080 Ti, and if you came out before NVIDIA's Ampere line, you would reset the market, because they would then make it like at the most you would expect AMD to make it like $600-700 for their top end card. That's half the price of a 2080 Ti, but you're more powerful. That would have dropped prices down, and then when they would have came out with the Ampere line, they couldn't come out and be like, "Hey, $1,600 for the cheapest 3090." They would need to be somewhat competitive with the pricing, but this is why they wanted to get out on the market first, so that they can continue to have that power crown and price it however they want.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it's a great point, Slobo. Speaking of a PC, by the way, because I was thinking about Warzone, and then we'll wrap up the show. New Call of Duty teaser trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I gotta say, I was pretty excited to see that.
Yeah.
It's be the first Black Ops game I'm actually interested in. When they showed that KGB thing, and let me get one bad mother back in here.
Hopefully they go back to the Reznov, like Reznov makes it.
Yeah, and it sounds like so. I don't think Activision's mentioned this, but I do know that High Moon Studios actually has worked on or developing this version of the game, and we're working on. OBM's having some issues. We're actually working on behind the scenes of getting a developer at High Moon who actually has worked on this game to come on Brad. But that's working on that. Hopefully we can make that happen sooner than later. But we'll certainly keep you posted. But I was definitely excited to see that trailer. So what do you guys think before we wrap up? Excited, yay or nay?
Looks good. I just want to see gameplay. It's bringing back that old school Black Ops 1 feel, which is I loved Black Ops 1, loved the story of that one, and loved the multiplayer. So hopefully that brings back that old feel, just brings back the classic style of Call of Duty. And yeah, I'd be sold.
Yeah. I'll never forget that scene in Black Ops 1 with John F. Kennedy. I'm like, oh, this is wild.
Dude, yeah. When he was fighting
the
the numbers, he's about to kill him in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And then you find out he kills him anyway at the end because the killer. So that was dope.
Yeah, it was wild. Definitely wild. But rest of the panel, what do you guys think? Yay or nay? You guys excited for the new Black Ops?
I'm never really excited for Call of Duty. I'll end up playing it, but I'm never like, like whenever they show it, I'm like, okay, all right, another Call of Duty.
Your life on that, Slomo?
Oh my gosh.
I started
something.
And the funny thing is that I've had the last two Call of Duties, and I haven't paid for them at all. One of them was gifted to me, and the other one I got with my GPU. So yeah,
Hopefully, Cyberpunk gets gifted with that 3090.
It
or
might
3080.
be. It might be.
I mean, they were giving
out a 1080 or 2080. No,
2080s. Yeah, TIs.
Yeah,
that were going for $3,000 if you sold them on the market at eBay.
Mm.
I wish I would have won one of those. That I wish I had one of those. That would have been my 3090 right there.
How much was the chair going for?
I don't know. I did look up the chair. I wouldn't be surprised. Everything Cyberpunk seems to be going for, like the V statue I have. It goes for like $400 or $500.
Time to sell it. Sell it.
I don't know, man. That's a centerpiece right there.
I hear you, man. I hear. Oh, real quick, I get this last super chat. Neo Y0 with the $2 super chat says, "Will they be using new engine for Black Ops?" I don't know, but don't know.
No, they won't be.
Yeah, don't know. So, all right. On that note, do need to wrap up the show. I want to give a big shout out to everyone that watched the show tonight. Please, guys, we're at 251 viewers right now. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already, or if you want to downvote, that's fine. I don't care. Hit the like button. And if you're new, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when we go live. And yeah, great show, guys. Slow-mo and Forte. I gotta say, I may need to make a rap t-shirt that says you
bet your life on that.
Yeah.
You know what? Slow-mo, that might be an emote for the channel. Bet your life. That might be an emote for the channel.
Those figures with knives holding them to each other's throats. Bet your life on.
Bet your life.
It's something like that, right? Yeah. But yeah, real quick. So I want to give a big shout out to our guests this evening. We had One Bad Mother come on. OBM, please let people know where they can find you. I don't think you're on Twitter, man, but if you want to be found, let people know they can find you. And please plug your review of Battletoads.
Oh no.
Yeah, thank you, Enrique. I appreciate it. Actually, if anybody comes looking for me, I didn't do it. No, you can't find me anywhere other than the Battletoads review. I think I've stayed off of Twitter for my mental health, and I think I'm going to try to do that a little bit longer. But I really appreciate you having me on the show. It was a lot of fun, man. Remember, people over plastic, everybody.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Always a pleasure, OBM, man. It's really cool that we had the opportunity to reconnect, more recently. So always a pleasure, man. And BitCloud, man, it's always great having you on. Please let everyone know where they can find you.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for the invite. It was a good show. Had a good time.
Absolutely.
Shout out to, the panel, B Money, Slow-mo, my brother, Forte, you already know. Good talking to Mr. One Bad Mother. Shout out to the chat. You can bet your life. You guys can find me at Big There you go. You can bet your life. You can find me there. Big Cloud Gaming on YouTube and Twitter. Appreciate everybody. Thank you.
No doubt, man. We got to get you back on again soon, Big Cloud. And dude, I owe you a one-on-one, man. We got to do that one-on-one sometime, man. I know we've talked about in the past, and it's been super busy, man, with work, and now the kids are home. There's no school. It's just been nuts, but we definitely got to do that
whenever you're available. Because I got it was funny because I was literally like when I was multitasking at the start, I was missing some questions. I was messing up my answers. I just got a one-on-one with Evan Filmo, who is he's the leader of the Spidey Squad that's on Spider-Man the game. So that's gonna be cool.
Nice, man.
Cool. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Well, no doubt, man. Everyone, please check that out. Sweet, man. Well, we'll have to connect, man, and figure that out, man, because I definitely want to come on and do that with you, man.
Every time works for you. Just hit me up.
Yeah, man. And then we got B Money 101, who's super excited that the NBA playoffs are here. B Money, are you going to be playing Battletoads this weekend?
I actually might. I might hop on there for like 5 minutes or so just to see what it's like, man. But other than that, I'm not probably gonna check that game out really. But you can find me on Royal Company. I've been playing that a lot lately, and I'll be watching the playoffs. So if you don't see me on Twitter, that's probably what I'm doing.
Wait, B, are you playing Royal Company on PC?
Yeah, man, I'm playing it wherever I can play it at.
All right, you know what? Hey, we gotta get
We have got to get up, man.
Yeah, we gotta get
we gotta
together.
go.
I haven't played it yet, but I need to download this on PC. We gotta get some. Yo, like seriously, I am free this weekend to play. So if you guys want to play some games, let me know. I'm down.
Ooh, I'm playing Road Company every single day. So just,
Yeah,
thought you were saying
I'm installing Battletoads right now. So
Rika, did you play anything without cheaters?
No, I plan on playing PC, man.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, but I just want to mention that starting this weekend, we actually are gonna start seeing some big gaming news coming up. So we got the whole DC thing, and then Gamescom is next week.
Yeah, Gamescom.
We got the whole Call of Duty reveal. So it's gonna be a pretty exciting next couple of days. So I'm looking forward to it.
Gamescom is going to be juicy for sure, man. I can't wait for Gamescom. Yeah. So, all right, B man, always a pleasure. Let's seriously, B. Let's do something this weekend with what's it called? No, I forgot the name of the game.
Road Company.
Crap. Road Company. There you go. And on that, we got Slow-Mo Backslap. Slow-Mo. Let everyone know they can find you.
You can find me on Road Company. And that's all
your life on that?
Play. I can't bet my life on that. That's all I seem to play. I'm level 49 now with like 2 days of game time in it. It's pretty much. I'm trying to stop playing it so I can like work on some other stuff in other games.
It's really that good. It runs like a charm. It looks good. It plays good. It's fun.
It plays great.
It's the perfect tactical, like fun game.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. I got to download this. Okay.
Hey, question on that game: does it play well with the controller?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I play with a controller.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
But you can also catch me on my own YouTube channel, Slow-Mo Backslap, where on my channel is every other week, but the other time it's the other weeks it's on Forte's channel where we do our own little one-on-one podcast thing going. And also on Scumcast on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Easterns. And yeah, that's it. You guys have a great night.
All right. Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Slow-Mo as always. And Slow-Mo, seriously, let's get up this weekend and play some games. Play some. I forgot the name of the game. Damn it. I'm tired.
We just said.
I know, right? This is crazy.
Terrible.
They're gonna start calling me Sleepy Joe.
I'm gonna change my name on here to Rogue Company. So every time you forget the name of the
so you
game,
say I need flashcards.
Yeah.
That's all right, man. Rogue Company. I got it. And then we got Bet Your Life Forte, man. Let everyone know they can find you.
Yo, Slow-Mo, what do you think, man? Bet Your Life podcast.
No.
No. He didn't think of it. No.
We're not doing that.
No.
The Bet Your Life podcast. Nah, man. Great show as always, man. Shout out to my homie Big Cloud for joining, man. Thank you for coming through, brother. One Bad Mother, man. You got to come up to the store so we can chalk it up one day, bro. I accept all versions of Starbucks at my store. So
wow.
when you come, make sure you come with some Starbucks. But nah, man. Outside of that, man, Gaming Forte everywhere, YouTube and Twitter. Make sure you check us out on Slow-Mo's channel. Oh, actually, Slow-Mo's channel yesterday had a really good discussion. So if you missed it, go hit it up. My man's getting closer and closer to 600, halfway to 1,000. Let's go. So let's get that man to 1,000 as fast as possible. Outside of that,
congrats, Slow-Mo.
Yeah, definitely. On top of that, be on the lookout for video going live tomorrow morning at 8 p.m. It's going to be about, with all the negativity going on about Xbox right now, I think people keep forgetting there's still reasons to buy an Xbox Series X day one. And I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons why you should. So that's the video that's coming out tomorrow at 8 p.m. So check it out in the morning.
Bet your life on it. It's coming.
Yeah, Bet Your Life is going to be fire.
Yep, it's going to be fire.
Wow.
Yep.
Exactly.
So that's it.
All right. Awesome. We'll definitely check that out. All right, everyone, please have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your time gaming. Don't take the Twitter so seriously. Some of it's fun. And if you are an Xbox fan, you might want to stay away from J-Dub because he's just on full trolling right now. Yeah, J-Dub, leave those people alone. Let them enjoy their game. So On that note, we'll catch you guys next week. I may or may not do a Brap rant this Saturday. I've been doing them every Saturday, but I don't know if I'll be doing this a rant on Saturday. But we'll see. We'll see.
There'll
If I
be something
do,
stupid that's going to happen. It's going to make you do it.
yeah, I don't know, man. It might be something more game related, or something crazy. Who knows? Anyhow, we're out. Everyone enjoy the evening. We'll catch you guys next week, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. Always appreciate the support. Someone said you may want to stay away from media, social media bias. All right. On that note, we're out. Peace.
Go check out
Anti-consumerism.
Yep. Go check out SBot.
Okay.
He's playing Battletoads right now. So
Oh
sweet.
no.
Shout out to Xbox. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.